Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Face2Face here on the ekartingnews.com YouTube channel. My name's Rob Howden, of course, the editor and publisher of the website. David Cole not with us here today, of course. It is 3 o'clock West Coast time. David's done for the day. We've got lots more shows coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I'll take this one solo. This is a really cool event that's happening. We've been hitting on a number of the different events with our face-to-face shows over the last couple of weeks and months, getting an opportunity to kind of educate people in the sport of some of the different racing that's happening around the country. There's a really cool race that's being put together for the July 23rd to 25th weekend. It's going to take place at the Utah Motorsports Campus just outside Salt Lake City. It's the United States Karting Grand Prix. And the cool factor is we don't see this a lot really in our sport. 6 different organizations coming in to work together, a collaborative effort to put this event on. And not only that, very similar to a Daytona or a Charlotte, it's also going to be a multi-series, multi-discipline program, both road racing on the big circuit at Utah Motorsports Campus. Those of you may not know Utah Motorsports Campus, formerly known as Miller Motorsports Park. Also on the sprint track where Superkarts USA just had their spring nationals. So a sprint event and a road course event, both tracks designed by Alan Wilson, noted track architect. So this is a really cool event. So, and we're bringing in a couple of the components, a couple of the promoters essentially of the program. Got Kevin Williams from the WK, the World Karting Association, Marty Casey from Tag USA, and Aaron Stanford from the Puget Sound Road Racing Association. Let's bring these guys in, have a quick chat. There's Kevin and Marty. There's Aaron. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Face to Face.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool factor is we'll start this now. The race is still over maybe 6 weeks away. Kevin and Marty actually trackside. If you can see, it's hard to see behind them because their faces are up. But you guys are in the press room at the track. You've got the track right behind you. There it is. There
you go. Yeah. So
this is actually when we can see the track, we can't see you. So
right.
Come back in.
So
that's awesome.
So we're actually Marty and I are on our second visit to the facility just to prepare for the event. Meet with the appropriate support groups that we need to meet with, and make sure that this is going to be a great event for all the participants. But this is the start-finish line of the road racing track, and we're up in the press box on the 3rd floor of the main tower. So that's where all the action will happen for road racing. And it's a windy day today. We're actually going to try and do both at the same time. But up here in the wind, I didn't spend much time in my hair today, so we couldn't do that.
That's right. Hey, listen, obviously, Kevin, you've been involved in a couple of these events already this year. Daytona, of course, we know multidiscipline with the road course, the sprint track, and the dirt track as well. Same for the karting, the Charlotte Karting Challenge at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So this is something you've done before, getting a chance to kind of manage a couple of different disciplines at one weekend. I know you got a lot of people brought together, but first, let's start. We'll start with you, Kevin, then we'll go around the horn. Talk about how this thing started. Because, again, as I said in the intro, we don't get a lot of cooperation between different organizations. Most groups are focused on their own program. You know, we're trying to get our own stuff done. We're trying to grow. We're trying to service our customer base. But you guys, you reached out. Tell me who reached out. How did it all start to bring 6
different organizations? So I'll let Marty tell that story. But, right. You know, there is a little bit of the tie to Daytona because people have always wanted some kind of Daytona Kart Week version in the West. And you know, this has always been a discussion. Somebody who's not with us at the moment, but he's involved, Mark Morrison of Northern California Karters, which is a very popular road race group in California. They have a hard time with tracks, especially during COVID. The motion picture industry uses a lot of track time there because they're big open venues, right? So they have a hard time getting tracks. But this is not a new idea. We're just all the ones who got it together. I'll let Marty tell the nickel tour of the story.
Marty, give us the what we call the story, the origin story of how this race came about.
Basically, Rob, what transpired is it's been probably 20 years ago, or maybe a little more. Claudio Valiente and I were up at Monroe for a Monroe race, and we were talking about doing a big festival event. And through the years, we just kept talking about it. And then after last year with 2020, with the COVID and just the way the sport went down, we had a meeting in the Northwest. Kevin was there, and I bounced it off Kevin, said, hey, what do you think if we get a race going and get all these sanctioning bodies and and put on a big event for the world. And we talked about it, and he was all for it. And the whole concept is this is not our race. This is your race.
Yeah.
It's the racer's race. We are getting all the sanctioning bodies involved. Everybody's jumped on board, and 100% of the proceeds are going back to the go-kart. So sanctioning bodies are not taking anything home. It's all about the racer, the families, the brothers, the sisters, aunts, uncles, all that. We wanted to be able to give back to the sport.
Well, the beauty of this thing too is the fact that you think about, we're seeing it. I know, Kevin, you can probably see it, and I know Aaron's been working hard up in the Pacific Northwest. There's kind of a resurgence a bit for road racing, right? Some more guys are coming to go on road racing, which is exciting, right? WK's had great numbers. Obviously, the Championship Enduro Series, Dave Larson's program that works, of course, with you, Marty, at Tag USA. Things are growing. Aaron, let's come to you and ask about your side. You're kind of, you've been there as the guy kind of steering the program at the Puget Sound Road Racing Association. You're at the Ridge, at the track of the Pacific Northwest. First off, real quickly, how are things with the Ridge, and how are things with the PSRRA, and how excited is your group about coming to Utah?
Well, the Ridge is still progressing. They're moving forward with things, making the track even bigger and better for us.
Okay.
They've repaved. They've got garages going in. They've got a bridge going across the track now. I mean, they've got some bigger events, but they haven't forgot like where they started from and who was there to support them. So we still get the backing from them.
Nice.
So that's really nice. Working with them has been a pleasure. Our event that we just had went off pretty much flawlessly. This whole road race thing with COVID, we've been fortunate enough to not miss any races yet. We've missed one last year, but people are getting itchy. They're tired of sitting at home. They want to get in a kart. So some of the sprinters are coming out and doing the road race with us. And it's been great. And they're learning that, the karting family is kind of better than the blood family sometimes. And it's just been a fun experience. The Utah thing, there's lots of talk. There's a lot of buzz up here. People wanting to go. They're asking a lot of questions. I've wanted to do something like this for a number of years. And I was babbling with Marty one day about it, and he was kind of saying some stuff, and I just kind of took it with a grain of salt. And then I got a phone call one day, and he's like, "We're going to do this. Do you want to be a part of it?"
That's good.
Like, okay, yeah. So here we are, and we're all,
concurrently, Mark had asked me the same thing. Guys, we'd love to go to Utah. We need some help, and we said, by the way, we happen to have an idea, and they jumped on board too, and those guys have been great. As most of you know, I live in Las Vegas. They come down there a couple of times a year, and I get to play around with them as well.
Well, it's great what you guys have put together. We talked about, obviously, the World Karting Association, a great group of road racers. You've got the CES, Championship Enduro Series, which has its group of road racers as well. The Puget Sound Road Racing Association. You already mentioned the Northern California Karters, which has another great group that runs, like Thunder Hill occasionally. I think Buttonwillow. They try to do something at Auto Club Speedway when they can, on and off. You start bringing everybody back together like it is right now. You've also, it's who else you connected with? Is it NorCal Karters? What other groups are connected? I think you said 6 in total when we were off air.
Northern California and what is it?
NCK, Northern California Karters, which they're actually making this a double points race for their club members.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's really good.
CES.
Yeah, okay. CES as well. CES in the Midwest, they just got done at Gateway, which is now, help me, Rob.
PSG,
Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Worldwide Technology, thank you. So,
and Aaron as well. We mentioned this before too. So it's the Puget Sound Road Racing Association, but the Puget Sound Go Karting Association as well, right?
Yeah, there's a sprint side of it, and they've jumped on and they're helping with the sprint side of it and some of the vintage stuff that's going on. So
we pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and the safety gear you need to get you on the track. Visit shopakr.com for a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors in the sport to ensure all the latest equipment is available to you, the racer. With over 20 years in business and customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price when you need them. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Make sure to follow Acceleration Kart Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials and new arrivals. Experience and passion. That's what led to the launch of AMAX Racing. Owner Charles Maxwell began AMAX Racing in 2015, expanding the operation in 2019 with a focus on driver development for racers of all age groups and backgrounds. From top-level drivers to grassroots racers or families looking for a team that will help them achieve their goals, AMAX Racing can guide you with the absolute best trackside service at affordable prices. No matter the chassis, AMAX Racing welcomes you and has the experience to put you on the top of the podium. You can join the AMAX Racing family in 2021 at the Cup Karts North America, United States Pro Kart Series, and WK Manufacturers Cup Series, along with selected local events at Whiteland Raceway Park and Newcastle Motorsports Park. For more information, contact them at 317-437-5886 or find them on Facebook. AMAX Racing. All of your karting needs under one tent. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Based in Lodi, California, Leading Edge Motorsports is the Western importer with IP karting that includes the Praga and Formula K chassis brands. Leading Edge Motorsports provides in-depth driver development for those racers in Northern California and across the country. Arrive and drive services, kart preparation, and driver coaching are available under the LEM tent throughout the season. Bell's record of working with drivers includes recent victories at North America's biggest karting events, including the Rock the Rio and the SCUSA Super Nationals. Greg Bell's knowledge for building engines spans 2 decades and is now under the Mega Power branding, providing a reliable engine service and tuning knowledge. No matter the chassis brand, choose Mega Power to get to the front. Click over to leadingedgemotorsports.com for more and find them on social media to stay connected. At Leading Edge Motorsports, winning never gets old. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. We'll get to vintage a bit later, guys. So let's talk. First and foremost, I think the cool factor is you guys have all come together, but this is not just a one-time deal, right? The concept is to try to build something long-term that can be an annual event that brings karters from the country together somewhere centralized.
Yeah. So the road, what's really great is in karting, you always have a hard time. What rules are we running? Whose rules are we running? These kind of things. All these road racing groups, we had regular calls to say, what are we going to do about classes? Okay, so if you're going to get points for this group and this group, we have a place for you, and we combine them. And so road race was fairly simple. We're still working on supercarts. We could talk about that later.
For sure.
But on the sprint side, WK has very good 4-cycle rules, so we use WK 4-cycle rules. UMC actually happens to be one of WK's tracks, which is helpful. And then for 2-cycle and shifter carts, it was Tag USA rules. So the rules were written. The book was there. All we did was add a couple supplements specific to this facility. Number one, for safety and efficiency and those kind of things.
Yeah, but we got something else you want to hit on?
No, go ahead.
Do you guys have class structure there? Do you want to hit on some of the class structure? Like, what do we have in terms of? Let's go sprint side first. Aaron, I don't know if who's up to date on that. What are we looking at for class structure? Are we having shifter kart classes? Is that the program on the sprint circuit too?
On the sprint side, we have stock moto light heavy.
Okay.
We have KZ ICC light and heavy, and then we have pro shifter. So your shifter guys, depending upon what engine they have, if they're running pro shifter, they could run shifter light, shifter heavy, get double the seat time, and go after that $5,000 to win.
And then we also have the air cooled classes for cadet age drivers, and then mini and juniors and seniors and masters. And we also have the same for four-cycle, the Briggs 206, and then we've recently added the new Tillotson 225 senior class, which has an amazing prize package, and even a trip to their grand final in Ireland.
Yeah, no doubt. The cool thing is that you've got a good class structure, but you got some pro classes as well. You know, Marty, you brought up $5,000 to win in the shifter program. You got the stuff with Tillotson. Tell me more about some of the pro classes you have as well that actually have prizes lined up.
On the sprint side, RLV has just stepped up last week and added $500 to win the senior 206 class. So that RLV is a sponsor. Always been a great fan of the sport. I'm going to let Aaron talk about the road racing, and supercarts is a big package as well.
Yeah, go. Let's talk about that, Aaron.
So the supercarts, we have the ICE, or what we call the ICE class, the single 250 carts, full bodywork that'll run for $4,000, and it'll be broken down between first, second, and third.
Wow, that's awesome.
They'll get 3 heats and a final, so they'll run twice on Saturday, run Sunday morning, and then Saturday afternoon be the final, and the top 3 with combined points will be our winner. They will get a number 1 plate, which will be able to be ran at any of the regions. So no matter where they're from, they can run the number 1 plate for the next year.
I like that.
There'll be a number 1 number plate trophy that they'll get to keep, and then the first place trophy as well with the money.
That's nice. All right. So, is that the only pro class you've got on the road course, or is there more?
And the road course right now, we're working on a couple other things, but that's the one that's up front right there. So that should draw some numbers coming from both sides, from the West Coast and back east. Hopefully we can get a couple other classes to be pro classes as well. But we want to make sure that everyone gets enough seat time
on that one.
More announcements. More announcements. I like that. Can we drop the gauntlet? Can we drop any names? What do we have any teams that are coming out? Are any of the badass shifter drivers going to try to come and win some money, or?
Well, we've got the Italian Motors guys. There's, from what I understand, there's about 30 of them coming.
Okay.
I know Remo's probably in there, Hargrove, and a few others.
Even Michael Valiente did some racing at the Challenge of the Americas, but he's getting pretty old. I don't know if Michael can run for money anymore.
I'm sure he just heard that.
I'm sure he did. Well, I've known him for 20-something years, so that's tells you how long he's been racing shifter carts for.
Yeah. One of the things that we're also going to do, Rob, and this is where you come in because we're going to have you be a part of it if you want to, is I've approached all the sanctioning bodies and trying to get 2 people from every sanctioning body that's involved in this. And we're going to meet somewhere in the U.S. this year and try to come up with a common set of rules. I want to have a panel of like yourself. I know Mike Manuri wants to be on the panel, mediators. Yep. So you can control us knuckleheads and when we get out of hand. But like I said, common set of rules where you can leave Washington State, go to Florida, go to New York, go to Kansas, California home, and you're legal.
This sounds like an event that would kind of pave the way to that, right? A first step out of where we are now into a more collaborative kind of a mindset, culture kind of thing moving forward. I like the idea, man. The more time you can get people at one place, I think the better it is. The more conversations you have, it takes that conversation over a couple of beers, which kind of changes things. I kind of segueing on this because this used to happen all the time in the late 90s and early 2000s when we would all go to Illinois, right, to the karting expo, the KMI karting expo. And I know that one of the things you guys have got in your mind is to try to have some kind of a karting expo. You know, and that came out of the Larson kind of area, right? That whole deal. Daryl Sitars was, of course, the promoter back in the day, and we used to go to the events. I can't remember the name of the place right now, top of my head, in St. Charles.
St. Charles, yeah,
right. And is that something you guys are thinking about doing? This venue, people, I didn't talk about the track itself, folks. It's top level pro. It's garages, it's paved paddock area. You know, it's a badass racetrack. But you guys are going to put some kind of a karting expo together there, so there's more opportunity for just people to be together and to talk about collaborations.
Yeah, in addition to the karting expo that I can let Marty talk about, we've also invited vintage karters in the region to come, and we'd give them track time. So that way, then we could see some of the foundation of the sport and those type of things. In addition to the karting expo, a lot of our class sponsors will be in the karting expo displaying product, and that's what it's about, is to expand knowledge of the sport.
So what else you guys got going? Do you have any other kind of things to make it an event? You know, you can have a race, but it's about having an event, right? I know that some of the notes you gave me, you're talking about potentially doing a weekend cookout kind of thing. I don't know how many games, other stuff you've got going on, because the Kart Expo is going to help that. But just that whole atmosphere, the way is everything, you know, because literally you share a paddock, right? They're kind of
with the help of our spec sprint tire LeConte, we're going to do a tire changing contest. We're bringing that back. Let's see who can beat the world record, right? We're meeting with the live stream company first thing tomorrow morning out here at the Speedway. Luckily, they happen to be at the Speedway, and their office is just in the garages down there, which is great. So we're talking about live stream for both sides, road race and sprint. And then we're looking at if we can get a sponsor for it, we'll do a welcome cookout or barbecue or plated lunch or something like that for everybody who comes. So it's a lot of activity. Again, this is more than just a race, a couple of races. This is really more of a karting event, karting awareness event, and giving back to the sport. Like a festival kind of atmosphere, right? That's right. And there's a reason we picked Utah. Again, all of our group together. This isn't just one organization. It was a collaboration with everybody. We picked Utah because number one, it's a great facility. I mean, as you said, awesome garages, which are going fast, by the way. Great tracks on both sides. And some of the garages, GP garages, are right below us, and the hot pit's right there. So they walk right out of there. Yeah, and right there. They don't even have to, talk to us commoners out there in the paddock, right? But some of the other things that we talked about for this facility was the location of where it is in the region. It's not a bad drive from pretty much, 25-30% of the states in this area. So, and the guys in California having a hard time getting track time there. This gives them another opportunity. The folks down south don't have a lot of opportunity. They don't always go to Phoenix or Willow Springs anymore. Willow Springs is all just a movie mecca anymore, right? So they can come here. And the folks up north, as Aaron said, are looking forward to traveling to a new facility. So this is really a new facility for a lot of folks.
We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. Trackside support and arrive and drive programs are available in 2021 for the USPKS and the SuperKarts USA Pro Tour and Super Nationals, with full product sales and service and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer private, one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. Trinity Karting Group is also your Midwest home for Tony Kart and IAME, and we're your source for MG and Avinco tires in the region. Tony Kart quality cannot be beat, so call us today to put you in a new chassis for your next event. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude. Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. It all started in 1994 when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, We run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com. You can buy all the latest and greatest products on the market, but when you're karting to win, it boils down to one thing: you, the driver. Gain the knowledge and abilities by investing in yourself at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and you'll find those extra tenths of a second you need to put yourself on the podium. The school was established by Superkarts USA Hall of Fame driver Alan Rudolph, with decades of victories and championships in multiple forms of the sport, including other disciplines of racing. The Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, located at the Speed Sports Racing Park in the metropolitan Houston area, is designed to teach driving skills at all levels. The instructors of the Academy have decades of racing experience and educating drivers of all ages. Classes at the Academy will teach the concepts and skills needed both behind the wheel and off the track. From the beginning kart racing experience and intro to karting courses, to their advanced 1-day and 2-day courses and karting clinics, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy can improve the skills of any driver. For more information on the specific programs that the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy can provide for you, head to speedsports.com and click on the Racing Academy page. Be sure to follow the Academy on social media by searching for Alan Rudolph Racing Academy. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. I like the fact that, and I'll segue here a little bit too, I like the fact that I have a feeling it's going to be a really solid supercard group, 125cc road racing group. You know, Aaron's got a lot of guys. There's a lot of road racers at 125 in the different groups. I think that's going to be big as well. We've seen kind of a resurgence a bit in laydown racing with the WKA. Love to see some guys go out there for that. Once we get a chance to see you guys go racing, we're going to be following you on live timing. If you guys can get some streaming together, people are going to be watching that for sure. Better to be trackside than watching, but you can do that as well. There's going to be an all-star group of road racers, and it's on the sprint side as well. Going to be some great sprint side people. But with all the group that you have, it's not only an all-star in terms of competitors. I would have to expect it's going to be like an all-star race staff as well for officials, because you're going to be able to bring all these legendary and experienced officials from all the different groups in. I got to think the lineup of officials is going to be pretty star-studded.
Yeah, it sure is. On the sprint side, since Tom Hardy was one of the founders of this concept and idea 25 years ago, his son Tommy, who those of you know is also race director at the Rock Island Grand Prix, will be our race director on the sprint side. We're bringing in the stewards from WKA. The tech department, I'll let Marty talk about that. Aaron gets to be the race director for road race, which we're thankful for that. We're going to make sure we keep him healthy so he makes it, right? So
yeah.
And I'll let Marty talk about our tech staff. And, of course, I'll be here to help out where we can. Marty will be here, and Davey and Aaron. But I'll let Marty talk about the tech side.
Who you got for the tech, Marty?
Basically, what we've tried to do is assemble history in karting. So on the road race side, we've got Brian Labonte and Mark Wynn. Sprint side, we have Terry Ives and Jack Lehman.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're in the first chapter of the history book. That's how long they've been around.
Starting in about 1959. Yeah.
That's it. No kidding. Wow.
So we've actually really assembled some of the top-notch people in the country for different positions. We've got a few more that we're going to try and get and make that announcement, but we got some cool people.
And our announcer for the weekend is Randy Kugler.
There you go. We're gonna keep going with All Stars. I love it having Randy there. Now, Aaron, hold on.
Yeah. Howden wasn't available.
I'm not. I'll be locked back home. I can't get out. I would love to have been there. Now, Aaron, I got a question for you.
Okay.
If you're race director, who's doing the race directing when you're driving? Because don't tell me you're not racing 125.
It's
race director.
I'm kind of on the fence about it because with this being an event giving back to the racers, I don't feel that I should drive, but at the same time, it's kind of hard not to.
You're a good man. You're half racer too. Give some back to yourself too.
I can get someone to step in for that one race if I decide to run. I'm trying to do the same thing with Brittany. She's going to be the grid steward.
Okay.
So I'm trying to convince her, but she's kind of up on the fence. She's like, well, if I'm being grid steward, I can't be on the track. And I'm like, well, we can handle your spot for a minute.
That's right.
Yeah. So if I do, I would run my 125 and leave the supercard at home.
That's the beauty of this sport, right? We're all in it. You know, it's not like we're just here for a paycheck or whatever we do. We're here because we love it. We want to race. You know, David Cole and I try to race whenever we can. I'd love to see you to be able to do it as well, Aaron. Guys, let's wrap this thing up. Pretty impressive lineup. Let's go through how people can find out information. Where are you on social media? I looked at the website. I know the website is uskartinggrandprix.com. What else? Where else can they follow you guys?
They're on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Same thing, Facebook, uskartinggrandprix.com. To start, that's where we stayed because that seems to be where karting lives. It's Facebook and websites.
Yep.
So we didn't want to try and kill the cat. So that's where we started. As we mentioned, we plan this to be a multi-year event. So after this event, we'll make more announcements and if there's a need for it. But we respond pretty quickly on the Facebook page. uskartinggrandprix.com has pretty much all the information they need, including enter RV spots and the whole deal. And that's where our main information will go to. So luckily, and even Aaron and the road race committee were great to make sure all the classes had plenty of track time both days with the all day Friday practice. So, I mean, there's plenty of time for everybody, which is fantastic.
And I would assume that if you're within one of the organizations, you can just reach out to your organization head as well, right? If you're with
yeah. So you will see a lot of you're already seeing a lot of cross registration or cross information between registrations. So and it goes between all those organizations we've already mentioned that are involved, and also some of the other media sites like yourself.
Yeah, well, 6 different organizations coming together for this event. Obviously, the first one, this is the inaugural race, the kickoff, starting something that's going to keep going forward. And I think you guys are off to a fantastic start. I love the pro classes. I just love the idea of getting guys to come and race together. There's literally, there's guys that have been racing in the Pacific Northwest that have never raced against the guy from the CES or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, they're going to be on pit lane on the road course or over on the grid on the sprint track, besides someone they've never met before, right? And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, no, and I think that's great, and I'll let Aaron talk further about it. But it's great to again, we're providing the avenue for people, and that's why we're all in this sport, right?
Yeah, bucket list racetracks too. Let's put it that way as well. I mean, it's the Miller. I keep calling it Miller. The Utah Motorsports Campus Road Course is badass. There's been a couple of races there in the past that people really loved. And the sprint track's a challenge, man. It's had Rotax Grand Nationals. It's had SCUSA Sprint, like SCUSA Pro Tour races. There's been a lot of big events on both of those facilities.
Yeah, the club racers here too are excited about it, and they're racing. They're racing the weekend before us, and so everybody is pumped. So we ran through town, and even the hotels and whatnot are excited. They're really excited.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Of course, as you know, we'll continue to provide coverage or news releasing as we come closer to the rate. We'll work with you guys to get once teams start confirming. You can let us know. We can push that out because there's always that ball rolling, right? Once everybody knows who's going to be there, who's going to step up to try to challenge the Italian Motors crew, and of course all the supercar guys that are going to come out and roll, the road racers. And of course, we'll work with you guys to get some coverage of the event, to have on e-karting news afterwards, and let you know what. Let's do a follow-up afterwards. Let's do an interview afterwards. Find out how things went. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
That sounds like a plan.
Aaron, Marty, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Rob, thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks. See ya.
You guys hang out in the back studio. We'll talk in a second. I'll drop these guys out. We'll wrap things up. Wow. I'm telling you, this is kind of cool, right? 6 different organizations coming together for one event. All those different people, Pacific Northwest, Northern California, the Midwest with the CES, WK racers coming up, Hopefully they'll drag some guys in from the kart crew, for, the Oklahoma area there. Well, they'll come in and play because there's a lot of great road racers around the country. But some good stuff happening at that sprint track too, man. 5 different categories for shifter karts, money up for grabs, the Tillotson program, the full Briggs lineup, 2-cycle as well. So really an opportunity for anybody to come out to play, which I think is super cool. But it is the United States Karting Grand Prix, July 23rd to 25th at Utah Motorsports Campus, utilizing both of the Alan Wilson designed racetracks. Tremendous place. Pretty cool restaurants available as well. There's a brewery there somewhere in I think it's in outside Tooele in Urda, I believe. We went to a lot of great places. Plus, it's literally a half an hour run into Salt Lake City if you're looking for different kind of food, that kind of thing. A really, really good place for an event for sure. This is going to be a big one. Started something new. Hopefully it can keep growing, because anytime you got organizations working together, it's a good thing for our sport. That's what we need. We need to work together to keep growing it. Folks, I appreciate you joining me for another edition of Face to Face here on the EKN YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so. The button's just right down there. Give us a like. Feel free to comment below. I appreciate it. Let us know who else you want to bring on a face-to-face. We'd be happy to do it, folks. We wrap things up. I'm doing the production here because Dave's not with me. I'm Rob Howden. Book it.